Today we're gonna be reading some Reddit stories. Buckle your seatbelt, get your popcorn, get your juice, and enjoy while we indulge in these crazy behind stories. The first one up is kind of like a 3-part because she has a main story, update 1, and update 2. So let's see how it goes. My husband doesn't see how his work wife is trying to destroy our marriage. I don't know if I explained it before. The whole work wife, work husband dynamic to me is diabolical. No, I'm your wife. I work at home, right here, right there, over there. Work wife who? I, 31 female, am at my wit's end with my husband's 32 male co-worker, Sarah, 30 male, and his complete inability to see what's happening. I'm not usually one for Reddit, but I need to know if I'm going crazy here. You're probably not. I'm not gonna lie. Where do I even start? 3 years has been going on? 3 years ago, my husband Mark started working with Sarah. At first, I tried to be welcoming. I invited her to our barbecue, included her in group outings, and genuinely tried to be friends. Big mistake. She spent the entire time making backhanded comments about everything from my career. Oh, you're just a yoga instructor? How peaceful. To my cooking. I guess not everyone can master basic seasoning. Sarah, come on now. The real problem is that Mark thinks she's just being funny. Last month, she literally threw away the anniversary mug I gave him because it clashes with the office aesthetic. When I got upset, Mark said I'm just being too sensitive. Sarah just has high standards for office decor. It was a mug with our wedding photo on it. Who does Sarah think she is? Sarah, you're not the wife. Do they share office? Because if not, then why does it matter what's in his office? Get away, Sarah. Their wedding photo. Okay, can I see the wedding photo though? Some greatest hits from Sarah. She scheduled a mandatory work dinner on our anniversary. Okay, no, immediately done. You're not the a-hole, she the a-hole, blah. She convinced Mark to not take a promotion because it would mean working with a different team. She posts daily photos of them together with hashtags like work power couple and hashtag works. What your man? She tells everyone at their office that she takes better care of him than I do. She changed his coffee order and now tells everyone she trained him right. She wants your man, she wants your man, she wants your man, Sarah need to go. The worst part, my husband is completely blind to all of this. Yesterday, he actually told me how Sarah said our new house, which we spent months searching for, was charming in a starter home kind of way. He repeated this while laughing. You need some help with Sarah? Because I can help you. I tried talking to him about it, but Sarah has convinced him I'm just insecure. She managed to insert herself into every aspect of our lives. They text constantly, even on weekends. She knows his schedule better than I do. She rearranged his entire desk and office wardrobe because his style was too suburban husband. That's what he is. You know, I'm frustrated for you. Last week, I suggested marriage counseling. He looked genuinely confused. He, of course, went and talked to Sarah about it. I found out from another coworker that she's been telling people that Mark and I are going through a rough patch and that she's just being a good friend by giving him someone to talk to. We weren't going through anything until she started this nonsense. The breaking point? Question mark? I stopped by his office to surprise him with lunch. I know, but it was his birthday and Sarah was supposedly out sick. When is she gonna be out sick on his birthday? Girl, she was probably surprising him. Sarah got to go. Guess who was there? Sarah. I didn't need to guess. I knew that was gonna happen. She'd miraculously recovered and bought him a cake that said, to my work. To my work. With the photo of them from the office holiday party. She saw me and said, oh, Amy, you came too. How nice. Mark, you didn't tell me your real wife was coming. Real wife? I'm not crazy, right? This woman trying to destroy my marriage while my husband stands there grinning like it's all some big joke. What do I do? Divorce seems extreme, but I'm running out of options here. TLDR? I don't know what I mean. ETA. I should have stated that the promotion wasn't one that would increase his salary, but his title. It would give him more leadership experience. It still blows my mind that he turned it down just so he could stay on the same team as her. Another ETA. I should have told the mug story in its entirety. She accidentally broke the mug. I noticed it was gone when I was visiting him one day, and I asked him about it. He said she accidentally knocked it over, and then later he repeated a joke she made about how it didn't fit the office aesthetic. Do they share like an office space or does he have his own office? Sarah is the problem and your husband is gullible. He's loving the attention that he's getting. He insane. To joke? Lord, please be listening. My husband? No, you should not accept this. Somebody says, oh, my work hubby. Your work who? I'm sorry, but I don't do work husband, work wife thing. I have a real wife at home that I absolutely love, adore, affection. She's amazing. She's my whole entire world. That's what it should have been, Mark. Got laughing at the jokes. Let me read some of the comments we go into part 2. You have a husband problem. Go to counseling and get a professional help to communicate your concerns. Remind him that he's married to you, not Sarah, so her opinion shouldn't matter when it comes to your marriage. Good luck, but be prepared for the worst. I mean, would counseling even help this man? I don't want to say he's a narcissist, but he don't see the problem. Let's read the update number 1 from a year ago. Now to why everyone is here. The update. Before I talked to my husband, 32 male, I decided to do some investigation. I started with his phone and read all the messages between him and Sarah. I bet it was a lot, girl. She badmouthed me. Okay, did I mention this the first time? That's the other thing where he should have clocked is the badmouthing. Oh, I guess you can't cook. Oh, you're a yoga instructor? Oh, how peaceful. You're letting it continue and it's going through in text? Now, when I read this, it better be you standing up for your wife, Amy. And if you're not, I'm coming for you. I don't care if this was a year ago. Okay. She badmouthed me a few times. How did I know to say that? He did nothing to defend me, but didn't engage either. It's not bad as it could be, but it's not good. Okay, Mark? You disappointed me. She was flirty. He wasn't really flirty, but oh, it's just a joke. How can you sit here and indulge in this nonsense? She's clearly flirting. You're blinded. Oh, he loves attention. They talked a lot, and he praised her frequently for her work ethic and intelligence. I didn't see anything about cheating. I checked his email, nothing. I checked his work email, nothing. I looked through our other devices, nothing. I searched high and low for a second phone, nothing. Everything I found was always dancing that line. Nothing was outright cheating, but there are things that I found that did hurt my feelings. Aww. He has lunch with her and only her every day in the office. They don't really like anyone else, so they'll criticize others and say, let's talk more at lunch. They're serving XYZ today. Lord, I know you hear me. Please put this into a man for me. Some girl come to you, be like, hey, let's have lunch and gossip about our coworkers today. Oh. I'm sorry, girl, but I have a wife. Yeah, I'm actually gonna go home because, you know, my stunning, drop-dead, gorgeous wife, who's a photographer, has her own business, just have to come to a corporation like I do every day and like you do. Oh, thank you, hubby. Okay, let me shut up. I can't talk to myself. But that's what he should have did. Every day and only, that's borderline. Like she said, it's not cheating, but it's like right on that fence. You say things like, I'm sure if you were a wife, you would XYZ. He always kept it as a wife and not my wife, but it still upset me. Okay. She admitted to breaking the mug on purpose. Well, wouldn't you know? She admitted to breaking the mug on purpose. He didn't get upset with her, just, yeah, the photo gifts are kind of Mark. The door is that way, and I think you need to walk out of it. And don't worry, it will hit you in the back, because I'm going to slam it before you even make it out. I'm singing a moment of silence for this woman right here because I feel so deeply for her. Mind you, I've never had a boyfriend. I confronted him, I laid it all out, and while he wasn't upset, he did try to brush things off, of course. He said I was being sensitive and overreacting. I told him if he didn't have a real conversation about this, I would file for a divorce. That got his attention and he sat down with me. I bet it did. He admitted that at first he found it odd that Sarah was trying so hard. He saw her typing hard. What? He saw her trying hard with all the men in the office. The more attention she gave him, the more he enjoyed it. Of course, what did I say? He likes the attention. Roll the clip. Did I say that? I think I did. Anywho. And the more he responded, the more attention she gave him until she had her sights on him. Like a little snake. Like. He knew some of the other men were envious and he liked that too. You have a wife. How about your wife comes to work and you can flaunt your wife during lunch all the time at work and they can be envious of that? That's a work wife. He admitted that eventually he just got too deep. He said he knew it was wrong but had gotten addicted to the attention and didn't want her to move on to another man. So he indulged her sometimes at my expense. He said it was just nice to have two women in the two major parts of his life, saying that he knew he'd rarely see one another. So what was the harm? He never ever physically cheated with her, but admitted it could be called an emotional affair. It was painful, I won't hide that. I mean really painful. Yeah, girl. Like I wasn't enough. I told him from this point on he needed to stop communicating with Sarah and ask to be transferred or switch jobs altogether. Now folks, I mean it when I tell you this. He lost his pants. I said pants. He lost his sugar honey iced tea. He began raising his voice, saying things like he never cheated, it's all above board. And I couldn't control who he talked with at work. He called me a narcissist and a control freak. He told me I had no idea how hard it was, how much stress he had in the office, and that his personal relationship with Sarah helps a lot. Taking it away would just damage his mental health. It got so bad that I started crying. I couldn't take it anymore and decided to leave. I packed a small bag and called my mother-in-law. She's the only family I have here. Don't tell me uprooted your home family to be with this man. I gave her a rundown of was going on, she offered her home to me. I'm staying here and just hoping my husband calms down so we can revisit this. I want to work it out. I love him more than anything. Girl. Well, I kind of figured that he wasn't that clueless. This is a full-blown emotional affair. From experience, things will only escalate. They are in bed together. Protect your peace because he sure doesn't give a dang about your feelings. Stay strong. He literally lets this woman talk crap about his wife and doesn't shut it down. He's choosing her over his wife. I'd be done. He is choosing her over you because he said I knew what she was doing, but I just, you know, I had to do it. You're getting mad? If I don't have her, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna lose my crap. You're racist, you're narcissist, you're sexist. As a woman, you're sexist. Boy, back up. Okay. Well, I'm back. Okay, girl. Tell me you got something good for me this time. First, I want to address some of the negative comments to all the people saying they're Team Sarah. First off, there are no teams. It's a husband and a wife and a third person. Sarah is the third person. Okay. And Hope and Sarah and my husband get together. Even saw a nasty comment saying Sarah and my husband would be the office power couple. How can you sit here and say nothing's going on? You claim my husband didn't cheat and I'm being crazy, yet the same breath wish they would get together. You're contradicting yourself because deep down you know something romantic was developing. People are crazy. I'm not reading that far deep in those comments. For the update, my husband came to my mother-in-law's house. She didn't call him. He knew I was there because I told him. He said he wanted to talk. Some big things happened in such a short time. Whoop-de-doo. He wanted to explain. According to my husband, after I left, he started to reflect. I'm marking. Let's take a ponder. Let's reflect. He did call his mom and they had a long talk. I didn't know any of this. She asked me if he was happy with me. He said yes, but I made him extremely happy. I was a good wife and a great partner. This is kind of what, and I slower. They just didn't type right. Okay, I'm gonna just read what I think he meant to say. This is kind of when it all sunk into him that he was being a juvenile for wanting attention from another woman. I did ask him why he always brushed things off and never took action before. He said he couldn't explain it. It just felt good. He assured me he never wanted to sleep with her and he never advanced things that way. It was just nice having someone around who's fawning over him like a fan. So you want fans? Go do something worth having fans over. For those who say he didn't know what an emotional affair was and was just agreeing with me, you were right. He admitted he didn't really understand what an emotional affair was, but after looking it up, he agreed that's what it was, though unintentional. He said he didn't want to lose his friendship, so he just went along with a lot of what she did. He admitted he was into a fog, but me leaving and this conversation with his mom was the only thing that brought him out of it. He said he didn't want to fight. My husband is big on giving me space, so when I left, he didn't chase after me because he thought it would be the best for us to just cool down and think about this and hopefully come back and discuss it more rationally. What more rationality are you trying to find, sir? You're cheating emotionally. You're not defending your wife. You want a fan. He did reach out to Sarah. Though they didn't meet in person, they had a phone call. He told her that he couldn't remain as close, that their out of the office texts and calls needed to stop, that he would get a replacement mug she wasn't to touch. Okay, Mark. Period. You're not allowed to touch my replacement mug of me and my wife, okay? And that they need to cut back on their lunches. He wanted to handle this before talking to me to show he was serious. Coming back into my good graces, Mark. That level's kind of rising up a little bit. Sarah didn't take it well, of course she did. She started berating. Ooh, Mark, okay, this your real opportunity right here, okay? Now let's see. She started berating me, saying I was forcing him to do this. Mark, my man. My husband stopped her and said no. He was doing this because his marriage was important. He admitted letting things go too far, but clarified he had no romantic interest in her. He told her if she had feeling for him, she needed to distance herself immediately. Okay. Clock that, Mark. Sarah ended up ruining the friendship herself. Though my husband was willing to maintain a more distant friendship, her comments about me and him, claiming she never want him and that everything she did was because she knew we weren't meant to be together. Wait, there's a moth or something in my room. Where'd it go? This ain't even real glasses. Why am I doing that? That do not look like no more. I sprayed it with Lysol and I don't know where it went. I see it on the ground. I think I killed it, but it's hiding behind some boxes. Inserting my story. It flew on my monitor and I got kind of scared. Where was I? Oh yeah, she was saying that she didn't even. Hold on, who were you to say that they weren't meant to be together? She was trying to open his eyes. He said he couldn't believe she had never seen how vindictive and awful she was. She was almost venomous. She is venomous. You think, oh, she Captain Saver? It didn't end well. After handling that situation, he came to see me, wanted to ensure I knew he understood and was taking the proper steps. He said we could do whatever I needed. Hold on, let me make sure this moth is really dead and not moving around. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had to check again because that thing scared me. It's big too. I I know some of you will say I'm wrong, that divorce is the only option because he had an emotional affair. Divorce is not the only option. He was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. He knew what he was doing. Not a divorce. Okay, he's wrong, but he's doing the proper steps now. So, I mean, if you trust him and he really did that and it's really over, there's no need for a divorce. I'm sorry to disappoint, but I'm not divorcing my husband. I told him we needed counseling for both of us. Yes, going through all his devices, emails, and texts might even be extreme. He agreed. It felt like a breach of privacy, but understood given the circumstances. I told him we both needed to work on things. As of right now, I guess you could say that we're separated. We're not staying in the same house. We're going to attend counseling. I don't want to just jump back into things with him. I don't want to seem like it's okay to make me feel like I'm the second option, to ignore all those red flags and brush me off. This has to be worked on. I'm leaving his mother's house and staying with a friend. I'm not sure if anyone's going to want an update after this. Sorry it's so anticlimactic. Sorry it's the typical, oh, you just got back together. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I love my husband. I know he loves me. I don't think everything is an end all be all. Yes, it's a terrible situation. Yes, he did a terrible thing, but I want my marriage to last. Like, who genuinely wants to get married just to get divorced? Like, marriage is about working things out. The literal things that you repeat to each other when you're getting married before people and a pastor and signatures and God, for better or for worse, sickness and poor, all that stuff. It's about trying your hardest to work it out. So if y'all think that she needs to get a divorce, then sorry, then you just don't need to be married at all. If it can be worked out, then do that. But if it can't, then get a divorce. Okay. But my marriage should last, so we're giving it another go. I genuinely hope this is my last update, but if it's not, y'all will know. Thank you for all the messages, all the support, everything. It really has been a huge help. Yay, I'm happy. I'm not gonna read the comments. I'm glad it ended well. Was it even am I the a-hole type of thing? No, you're just ranting. I'm glad it worked out. He got problems. And that girl, she was lying. I didn't even like you. Just knew y'all shouldn't be together, and I was trying to open your eyes. You wanted that man. You just mad that he didn't want you like that. And that's okay. It's not okay to try to do what you did. And even if you was faking at first, it became real at some point. Be for real. That was a long one. Okay. Am I overreacting for wanting to dump my boyfriend over his poor financial choices? I don't know. Unless it's extreme. Why are you dumping him over that? That's for like just an excuse to dump him. But I don't know. Let's get into it. I, female 28, want to leave my boyfriend of 6 years, male 27, over some poor financial choices that have just recently come to light. I will try to keep this as brief as possible, so if I'm missing any details, I'm sorry. I'm still very upset at the situation. My boyfriend Jacob, fake name, and I got a house together a year ago. It was a huge step for us considering we first lived together with my dad, then moved to a barn on some property Jacob had inherited from family. We lived together in this barn for several years without running water and multitude of other issues. Why are you living in a barn? Y'all ain't animals. He sold the property and we began looking for a house. I was ecstatic. I'm not sure if the entire process or full amount of money, so basically he bought the house. I'm not sure of the entire process or full amount of money, but I know he had to put $40,000 from the sale on the farm into a bank. I was like, he paid that much money for a house? Let me read this up, into a bank account for savings and used about $50,000 to pay off his debt and so he made $40,000 and you have $50,000 to pay off your debt. 40,000 minus 50,000. Use all that money to pay off your debt? What kind of debt? Is that the poor financial situation? So 50,000, well, it's a combination of both. $50,000 to pay off his debt and put towards a down payment. Our home loan was considered a rehab loan and we had to pay more and have about 25 grand in escrow. I can't read today. That we needed to have invoices sent to bank for payment. An additional 10 grand was placed in an account for us to begin the home repairs and agreed upon in our loan agreement that Jacob has sole access to. Okay, Jacob. This is a partnership joint. This ain't your house. This is his house is what I'm hearing. The roof needs to be replaced as part of the mortgage agreement, and before the roofers began work, Jacob told me they would start with just the house roof and do the garage roof as a later point, which was fine because we had the 10 grand from the bank. The roofers just finished replacing our roof and Jacob came to me upset in tears saying that the bank wanted proof of our use of the 10 grand before they would approve the invoice from the roofers and confessed that he used it to catch up on bills a few months ago. Nah, Jacob. Look, you got yourself in a little pickle. So you better figure it out. They together. Okay, remember that. At this point, I wasn't sure how to address the use of the money because he supposedly had 40 grand in the bank as an emergency buffer fund. After taking a day to process, I asked him if he even has the money in the bank, and he continued saying he did until I asked for proof and he admitted finally that it was gone. As far as I have been able to gather, about 6 months ago, he used the 40 grand in the bank and the 10 grand meant for the house to pay off debt. months. For some background information, I had spent years trying to push him to be a better boyfriend, bringing up issues and solutions and always trying to improve our relationship, with only temporary changes as a result, and tried to leave him a year ago because any improvements were only temporary and I had been unhappy with him for a long time. The result was consistent guilt tripping and promises to do better and be better for me, so I agreed to give him another chance, and for about a month and a half he was better and did show up better, but as usual he dropped off on any changes and was quickly back to the same things. What kind of debt is Jacob in? Because this can't just be regular student loan debt. This got to be like gambling or drugs. Now, another large issue is that I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I manage fairly well and am mostly able to handle things without medication or help. But for the past 5 to 6 months, anytime I suggested he use the money in the bank to fix the house or help him catch up on bills, he would accuse me of being in a bipolar episode and talk about everything wrong with my behavior at the moment. This type of person is what kicks off bipolar people. Because what you mean? Distance yourself from him for a little, let him fall to the bottom. Because he's the type of person that he needs to hit rock bottom before he be okay. That's what I'm hearing. As a result, I have spent the past few months questioning everything and second guessing every thought and feeling I've had. Aww. Now she's down herself and have felt like I'm slowly spiraling into insanity because I don't see the things he does in my behavior. You aren't doing anything wrong. He's manipulating you and you being manipulative. I want to leave him, but he keeps telling me I owe him a chance. I don't know your name. Did you say your name? I'm gonna call you Becky. Becky, if you even owed him, because you don't owe him anything. He got himself into the situation. It sounds like he owns the house. Is your name even on anything? Because you say you didn't even know nothing. Which, that's your fault for doing that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. How ago was this? 5 days ago. Oh, I'm talking to something recent. You need to leave this man. If you owed him anything, you already did that. When did you say you wanted to break up with him? Years ago, and you gave him another chance, and y'all fell back into the same thing? Yeah, no. He's never gonna change. My mom used this scenario before, and I love it so much. A bent pole never can be straightened back. You might straighten it a couple times, but it's always gonna bend back. It's gonna take God to fix this man. Until you learn that, you just gonna be in the same cycle, thinking something's wrong with you when nothing is wrong with you, girl. It is him manipulating you. You don't owe him anything because you already gave him a chance and he messed that up. Everything he's doing now is his own fault, but I really want to know what's this debt that he gotta pay for so badly, that I owe him a chance and keeps moping or talking aggressively or promising to be better, and I feel trapped because he refuses to accept me. Girl, the thing about leaving is nobody can refuse it. Pack a bag and leave. What are you gonna do? Hold you down? Call the cops. Hey, I want to leave my boyfriend, but he's being very aggressive. I'm trying to leave, so can somebody come on here, just monitor the situation? I'll pack up my bags and I leave, you know, escort me or help, just something. And to leave, I need to have his agreement to sell the oh, so you are on the thing. Okay, why are you selling the house? If you're leaving, let him have it. You don't need nothing. No. I need to have his agreement to sell the house or to take me off the loan because we are both owners. Why do you have to have the other person's agreement to take off? That's so stupid. If I want to be off, let me be off. Why don't I need their agreement? I keep talking and losing where I was at. We are both owners. I pay the mortgage on my own. As a stopgap solution, I've agreed to give him a month to win me back while I plan an exit. But am I overreacting for wanting to leave him over him spending $50,000 without telling me? Am I overreacting for being mad that he's lied to me for months about still having the money and being furious that he's been using it against me to make me question my own mental health? Any advice or suggestions would be desperately appreciated. I have no contact with much of my family over physical, financial, and emotional abuse over the course of my life, and I have to support the system aside from this. Blah, 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 blah. You know, the thing about me is I need to learn how to read the story and then get my advice afterwards. I'd just be stopping mid-story, losing my placement of where I was at. But like I said, I already said everything. Before, I'm like, girl, why are you leaving him? Now, after reading that, why aren't you leaving him? You need to run. It has not gotten better 7 years. And you said 5 years ago? Either way, you spent years trying to get him to be better for you. And he did good, but then reverted back for however many more years after that. Why? You're not overreacting. You need to leave, okay? Can't stop you. Call the cops. I know the cops are terrible, but they might help in certain situations. Okay, if you feel like you're in danger, he's being aggressive, he won't let you leave. You need to do something. Call somebody to just stand there and protect you. Well, he's gone. You gotta go somewhere where he spent all this money. Like, whatever you do, do not let him to cause you to doubt yourself. You mentioned you are creating an exit strategy, which I fully applaud. In the meantime, if you can, start working with a therapist to keep yourself grounded in yourself and your goals. He will try to schmooze you back. Don't let him know. Nor, please stay safe. Okay. Well, that was that one. I said all my thoughts. I guess nothing else to say. I just said it throughout the things. Not overreacting at all. Let's read the next one. I think I'm gonna read 2 more. These are fairly short. All right, next one. Would I be the a-hole if I went nuclear on my aunt for wanting to make my grandma's ashes party favors? Who wants grandma's ashes a party favor? This was 4 years ago, mind you. My grandmother passed away on Tuesday. My aunt, grandmother's daughter, has put herself in charge of planning the memorial. She has decided that she wants to set out a basket of small jars with my grandmother's ashes and then for guests to take if they want them. She seems to think this is normal. My mother, also grandmother's daughter, and I very strongly disagree. We think that only close family, her children, grandchildren, favorite nephews, should be given this honor if they would like. I know for a fact there may be a few people attending that my grandmother dislikes that would potentially take a jar. I do not want that to happen. My mother will be discussing with my grandfather what he would like to happen since my aunt refuses to listen to him. If he wants this, I will blow out. If he does not and my mother fails to convince my aunt, I will prepare to go nuclear and bring the fire down on my aunt. Would I be the a-hole if I do so? Absolutely not. Do we have updates on this? Cause what? Who would want that as a party favor? Like, oh, I'm gonna take this jar of grandma's ashes. I'll bring it home. Thank you for the party favor. Oh my gosh, hey grandma. Let me keep this on my desk at the office. Not the a-hole. Unfortunately, I have been to many funerals and not once have I been offered ashes. I don't know what kind of service your aunt has been into the past, but it's definitely not normal. I think your mother's doing the right thing by speaking to your grandfather, as he is the final say. If he does agree that this idea is bonkers, then you need to ensure that your aunt can't get hold of your mother's ashes. My grandfather absolutely gets the final say. He has a hard time setting up to my aunt, which is why I would be stepping in. My sister actually suggested this for my father, and after talking smack around, I found out some people actually do this. My stepmother agreed, but I made a promise that he would go back to his home country, and I'm sure he wanted his whole self there. Okay, I did not realize that that was an actual thing that people have like ashes at party favors. Like, oh, take an ash. You want a jar of ash? Here's a jar of ash. It's whatever you wish to do at the end of the day. But for me and mine, no thank you. You would not be the a-hole. Well, that was all. We had some very weird ones. We had some very passionate ones. What I was feeling passionate about. But let me know in the comments what you think about the situations like the ashes. Would you want your ashes to be given to random people as a party favor at your funeral? How would you feel if your husband or wife had a work husband / wife? What was the other one? What was the other story, y'all? Let me out. Yeah, I forgot the other story, but anywho, let me know in the comments. Do you agree with my take and my opinion on it? Oh, the financial thing. Should she break up with her boyfriend over that or not? That's a little crazy, but I don't know. $40,000. You know what I would do with $40,000? Sorry, $50,000? I would buy a new camera. Shut up. Make sure you like this video if you enjoy me, my commentary. Yeah. And subscribe if you want to see more of me. And until next time, I'll see ya later. Bye.